You want lower numbers on your scorecard? Make sure your wedge game is up to par. The new Mg5 Wedges from Taylormade, forging a new path to better scores. Joined once again by our Director of Instruction, Kyle Gordon. And Kyle, if you're asking yourself how you make a good wedge even better, Taylormade has the answer, and it's forged.
Yeah, forged really just is going to speak specifically to the feel of the golf club. You know, the MG4s were fantastic wedges and they did feel good, but a forged wedge is going to provide even more feedback and responsiveness.
Because these are the scoring clubs, you need to be able to have that great feel, obviously.
Yeah, wedges really, if you think about your wedge shots that you hit, you're often hitting these half shots, partial shots in and around the green, and you need to get the responsiveness from the club to be able to dial it in and get better with your wedge game.
And one of the ways these wedges can be responsive for you and your game is the face technology here.
So the face technology really comes down to, it's more than just grooves. It used to only be about grooves, and now it's about moisture wicking. This is going to perform in all conditions to really wick the moisture away from the ball, between the ball and the face, to help create the most amount of spin. So when it gets wet, you don't lose spin, you actually retain spin.
Yeah, we're not talking about playing in the rain necessarily, but those early mornings we're out and there's a lot of dew on the course.
Exactly, so these dry to wet will retain the spin, where typically out of wet conditions, you will really lose spin.
And as always, with any line of Taylormade wedges, there's something in here for everybody and every level.
Yeah, they're a great set of wedges, 2 different finishes, lots of bounces. We'll talk about bounce and selecting bounce here shortly, but lots of bounce and loft combinations.
Kyle, there's no time like the present. Let's talk about the bounce options right now.
So in the Mg5 lineup of wedges, there is 5 different bounces that are available. This is going to range from low bounce to high bounce. I like to say that wedge bounce is related to the forgiveness of the golf club, all right? Very high bounce is the most forgiving and is going to get through the dirt and come out of the ground and be a little bit easier to hit. Low bounce, you need to be more precise with your strike and is actually for someone that really isn't steep and does not take divots at all.
How do I know which bounce is for me?
Really what this is going to come down to is how you deliver the club to the ball. So you need to come in and hit some wedges, speak to one of our master club fitters to help you pick the right ones.
Let's hit some right now. All right, Kyle, we both hit a number of shots with a 54-degree wedge, and just by looking at the numbers, a lot of them are very, very similar, except for one that stands out, and that's total spin.
Yeah, the backspin really is going to come down to like the ball hitting the ground and stopping as soon as you hit it. You don't really want it to release with your wedges. Yeah. The differences between us really speaks to the fitting story. So what you can see different, if I flip this over to the club delivery page here, this is going to show that your angle of attack is 2.5 degrees down and mine is 7.5 degrees down. We're 2 different golfers, do two different things. So really what that means is I add a little bit more loft on the golf club but hit down on it, and that's what creates the spin. I take big divots, you don't take big divots. I need higher bounce, you need lower bounce.
So a fitter will be able to identify all this and get you into the right bounce.
Exactly. So we tested the standard bounce head. You can see the performance actually works out relatively okay, but I would perform better with higher bounce based on the angle of attack, and then you do better with something standard bounce or low bounce.
Forgot to mention, there is one other grind we should tell people about.
So you got the Tiger grind. Tiger's been influential in designing these wedges. When speaking with Matt Bovey, he really designs his wedge very specifically for how he chips and pitches. Available in 56 and 60, you can get yourself the Tiger grind.
To find out which Mg5 wedge is best for you, simply head to your nearest golf town and talk to one of our qualified master club fitters.